Hi, you guys. Welcome, welcome. Meal prep number 4. Okay, we've been doing this a month now. I'm ready to give a couple minutes for everyone to get on. Thank you for joining. This is the prep rally where we prep, what are we doing, 7 or 8 staple dishes today, and then we repurpose all those staples into really unique dishes all week long. Obviously, you just can't avoid this weekend's events that went on. We're all insanely heartbroken over here, over Pittsburgh, and I know you guys are grieving over there as well, and there's no easy transition from that to meal prep. But hopefully those that are prepping with us can at least have some extra time this week to give some extra hugs and love to the loved ones. And yeah, there's just no easy transition here, but we're ready to get through this meal prep, and hopefully we'll all have a nice relaxing week. So with that being said, let's do this. How's everyone doing? Is everyone getting on? Where are we all joining from? Who's excited? Meal prep number 4. Such great flavors here. Even though we're in California and the weather is not exactly fall-like, I'm trying to channel my inner fall by kind of debuting some stews and curries and heartier dishes. So Mike, want to take a look at this menu over here? Everyone say hi to Mike, by the way. Mike is here.
What's up, guys?
So here we go. We have so these are the 4 dinners that we're gonna have during the week. Chicken kebabs with herb sauce, broccoli, and mashed potatoes. Then we have these curry bowls, which are so yummy. Then this is a really yummy shepherd's pie with some butternut squash, repurposing those potatoes in here as well. And then we're repurposing that curry into these amazing cheesy calzones. So if your kids or you are not a curry person, this isn't like a strong, intense curry, but you could always add a little bit and then tweak and add more and adjust as you go. So that's gonna be served with some broccoli over there. And if you are a Prep and Rally subscriber, you get your grocery list, you get, this is the prep list that we're doing tonight. So here we have our curry we're making, the sweet potatoes, and we put some mashed garlic in there, quinoa, which you could sub for rice or any grain that you like, really yummy salad dressing over here, the meat that's gonna go into the shepherd's pie, broccoli, and then the marinated chicken kebabs that you're gonna actually cook, grill, or sear fresh tomorrow night. All right?
We have people from Brooklyn, from Seattle, from New Jersey, from the Upper West Side. What's up, Pelk? And I think we're all ready to go.
Amazing, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, really good flavors going on here. We're just gonna work our way through the PDFs. If you're watching now and you still haven't prepped with us, or you're prepping with us tomorrow or at any later time, you could just follow along the same way that we are doing. Everything is in that exact order as we're going through tonight. So yeah, let's do it.
Boston, Brooklyn, Northampton, Mass.
Yeah, cheers to you guys.
We hope the Red Sox lose tonight. Sorry, Kelly. Seattle, New York,
I'm so clueless with these
Riverdale.
games. Riverdale, what's up, guys? Well, thanks for joining, and we're gonna get started. If you guys saw some of the pre-prep, I sort of set up little sections throughout my counter of all the different recipes, and whenever you can, pre-wash, pre-peel, take off the can top, anything you could do to kind of make a little bit more use of the time so that you could just get through this really quickly and easily. All right, so the first thing we're gonna do is make our curry in here, because that's the thing that takes, I wouldn't say it takes the longest, but then it takes the longest to cool. So we're gonna get started with our curry right in here. So if you guys have a PDF, you can pull it up. Again, everything is on prepandrally.com. This is a meal prep subscription service. So if you are a newbie here or just hopping on, we prep all these staples on Sunday, and then all week long, you're literally just pulling things out of the fridge and assembling really quick and easy dinners. So we're just starting with an onion here. I keep saying I'm gonna do tutorial videos. I promise you they're coming on how to cut onions and all like the staples that we go through, so that you guys can sort of practice at home, because it does make things go a lot easier and more enjoyable in the kitchen when you know how to cut properly.
We have some early bird meal preppers that
Ooh, yeah.
kitchen tested, one of our favorites.
Yeah, love you, Mel.
Was asking that she made her curry way too spicy. Any way to cool it down?
Good question. You could always add some coconut milk. That has like a cooling property, and that could definitely help. You could also add some tomatoes to sort of dilute the amount of spiciness. I would add a little bit more of each of those. Yeah, that's what I would do. Yeah, so curries are tricky. So some curries could be a little bit spicy, some are more mild. So if you're unsure what yours is, add a little bit and then taste as you go. That's the only way to know, is just by tasting. So you can always do that. Yeah, Mel, I don't think Nora, I don't think there's any chance of getting Nora to actually try a curry, especially if it's spicy. So yeah, go easy on your curries, and if it is a spicier one, you can always dilute with a little bit more tomato or coconut and save it. All right, or if it's a little bit too thick, you could also dilute it with a little bit more vegetable stock. So there's usually a way to help in that department. So we have our onion here. All right, and I have a big pot that we're just gonna get nice and hot with some olive oil. How's everyone doing today? Everyone had a busy day? We had Julie's little birthday party. If you guys follow me on Deanie_Klein, that's kind of like my more like personal. I'm kind of still trying to figure out the balance. But that's sort of my more like personal account. This is a little bit more meal prep heavy, as you guys have noticed. Just throwing the onions in here. But we had little Jolie's princess birthday party. She was so cute. Her actual birthday is on Wednesday, but we had a little party for her today and her little friends from her class. It was so cute, and Cinderella came and she flipped. She literally bolted, ran right to Cinderella and gave her such big hugs and kisses. It was super cute.
We have our first question. Shane,
Yeah.
Our second question, including kitchen tested.
Yes.
So Shane G for Life asked, when using an herb in a dressing or sauce that's going to be blended, can you use the stems along with the leaves?
I never take off the stems completely. I don't use like the way bottom part of the stems. I try to take off as much as possible, but I don't sit there like pulling out every stem. I 100% blend it up in there. Yeah, I'm not like, I don't pull them all out. So definitely. You don't want to use like all the stems. I always like cut it off like right where the actual like leaves start. But if you get some stem in there, you're so good. I never taste the difference. So now, I mentioned this on stories. A lot of these recipes, first of all, we're going to be roasting a whole head of garlic, because you guys know I just love that. Once we're roasting our broccoli, we're going to be roasting a head of garlic at the same time, just because why not? And then we squeeze that into the mashed potatoes. It's freaking insane.
T. Schlafrig, it's her first meal prep, and she's
welcome. Yeah, all the newbies, welcome. Amazing. Oh, that's awesome. I'm so excited you're here.
Okay, so what do you have going?
Let us know if you have questions.
Onions and olive oil.
Onions, frying in a little bit of olive oil, and we are going to add in our garlic. So what I was saying is that we have a lot of different recipes that are that require just like minced garlic. So that we're doing the whole head of garlic on there. We'll get to that later. Minced garlic is required for a few of the recipes. So instead of mincing garlic at every single individual recipe, why not make the most of our time and just bang it all out now, right? We're already doing it. So literally bang it out. You see, Mike? So this, I find, is just the easiest way to peel garlic. You could buy pre-peeled as well. A lot of you, on like a couple Instagram posts ago, we were talking about our favorite time savers in the grocery store. Some of ours were like pre-peeled butternut squash. Some people were saying herbs. Some were saying pre-peeled garlic. There's so many different things that you could do at the grocery store. For some reason, garlic, I'm a snob about. I think because I just grew up with a dad who always grew fresh garlic in the garden. And we always had fresh garlic with our challah Friday night. And I don't know, I just don't think you get that same flavor with the pre-peeled stuff. It's just not as strong. But then again, you don't scare the vamps away. So, or keep the vamps away. Is that what it is? Keep the vampires away? So, but do what works for you. I just like to use fresh. It smells so good. And also with garlic, when the garlic head is like very tight, that means it's a nice fresh head. If it's like kind of open and falling apart, it's like a little bit older and probably not the freshest. So you want a nice tight head of garlic. All right, whenever I'm sauteing onions, I always like to just add in a little bit of salt because that helps sweat the onions even more, bring out all that moisture. And let's just keep working on our garlic here. So we're just gonna mince all this garlic all in one shot, and we're gonna reserve it over here on the corner of our board. Oh, I almost threw you out.
What does that mean to mince garlic?
So it's just a very fine little chop, I guess you can call it. So you just kind of run your knife through it. You could use a like a microplane or something. However you mince garlic, like a chopper, whatever you like. But I just go like this with my knife. I find it just really easy this way. And your onions should be on like a medium-high heat because you want to get them nice and golden, but don't let those burn. So we're making this yummy curry. It's a sweet potato, kind of like tomato curry. So yummy, so folly. Y'all are going to live it.
Yocheved Howard's asking if she can use frozen garlic cubes instead.
Yeah, use whatever works for you, honestly. Use whatever works. Especially for this, you're not gonna taste the difference. In the salad dressing that we're gonna be doing a little bit later, even that should be fine. You're totally good using frozen.
So you're just finely chopping the fresh garlic?
Yeah, that's it, because some of this is gonna go in a salad. So like for this, it doesn't really matter what it's like because we're gonna be cooking it anyways. For our salad a little bit later, for the salad dressing, you don't want it as big just because you don't want to be eating your
a clove of garlic.
A clove of garlic. Exactly. Thank you. And the dressing is really to go, it could go over like salads throughout the week, and it can also go over the chicken that's going to be marinating. So you could use it a few different ways all week long. But like when I posted this meal prep a couple weeks ago, and I was testing it out, a lot of you guys asked for the recipe for the salad dressing. Such a good salad dressing. You're going to love this one. So, okay, I think we're good. So instead of having to do that 4 different times for 4 different recipes, here we go. Ready, standing by, mise en place.
Oh, I see. So you did half and then half in here.
We used a little bit in here, and then the rest we're going to be using a little bit later on in all the different other recipes. So some of the garlic went in here. I washed my hands because they're sticky from the garlic. I always like to work with a garbage can right near my station and a towel right here. That way you don't have to go anywhere when your hands are wet or when you need to throw something in the garbage. Easy. All right, so just following along here. Let's see, okay, so we're gonna add some spices, and what that's gonna do by adding the spices now to the hot pan is it's gonna perfume and kind of like wake up the spices by heating them. It's always really good to heat your spices. So we have coriander, curry, and ginger. I'm just eyeballing. You guys can measure if you like. I hate measuring. Isn't that ridiculous? Even my own recipes, I don't like to measure. But you guys could always adjust, make any substitutions to make it work. If you don't like ginger, leave the ginger out. If you don't have coriander, don't use it. If you have a spicy curry, whatever it is. So I want my kids to eat this. I don't remember, because I threw out the actual container that this curry came from. I don't remember if it's spicy or not. But when in doubt, just do a little bit. And you could always taste it later. Do you smell that? How good does that smell? Mm. So heating up the spices just kind of invigorates them. And then we're gonna add the other ingredients. Yeah.
Hannah Selman is asking that she forgot to buy curry. What can I do?
You could totally omit it. Don't worry about it. You could completely leave it out. Or yeah, you don't need it. It's fine. It's called the curry, but like it could just be like a tomatoey sweet potato stew, and then the coconut just kind of, you know, makes it creamy and yummy.
Lauren Braun, you can just leave it out.
Yep.
Okay, so what did you just add?
Leave it on out. So we added the can of diced tomatoes and then the tomato sauce. And now I'm just bumping up my heat a little bit because now the onions aren't going to burn. So now you're working on a pretty high heat, like a medium high. All right, so we added our tomatoes. Okay, beautiful. And now we're going to get our sweet potatoes in there. Yep.
Styled by Shava is asking if she can add chickpeas to the curry.
Yum.
And when would you add it?
That sounds amazing. I would add it when you add, I'd say when you add the cauliflower, because we're doing that at the end. So you could definitely do it when you add the cauliflower. I would do that. Do it when you add the cauliflower. It's a great idea, and that's another way to get some extra protein in here. Really good idea. Because we're also going to be serving this with quinoa, which is really high in protein. But yeah, chickpeas would go beautifully in here. I love that addition. Definitely. Okay, here we go. So, what do we add? Okay, so we're going to add our sweet potatoes, and then we're going to simmer it for a while. Then we're going to add our cauliflower, coconut a little bit later on. And that's it. Like easy, breezy, and it just cooks, and then we're going to let it cool. All right? I have so much garlic on my knife. Okay. Everyone good? Real happy? Throw your sweet potatoes over here. I pre-peeled mine. If you have not done so yet, go ahead and do that. I'll try to wait if you guys need me to wait a little bit. I just wanted to get a lot of it out of the way. And all we're doing is just cutting it into kind of like little French fries in a way. And then you turn it and cut it this way so you have a small dice. Obviously, the smaller you cut it, the faster it's going to cook. So, and I also like making it bite-sized because, I don't know, it's nicer that way. Okay. And a bunch of you were asking what you can substitute for the puff pastry, because at the end of the week, we're taking the leftover curry, putting it inside little puff pastry squares, folding it over into a triangle and making calzones, and adding some cheese into it. So like a cheesy, yummy, crispy calzones with this like tomatoey sauce and sweet potatoes in it. So yummy, serving it with broccoli. So it's another fun way to repurpose it. This also freezes really well. So if you wanted to freeze it, go ahead and do that. And you could sort of make this all year round. If also you wanted to add some chicken to this, ground meat to this, you can make this anything you want. It's really versatile. I actually wrote this recipe for Taste Made a while ago for my super simple series. It's a yummy recipe. It's just like hearty and cozy this time of year. All right, so keep working on your sweet potatoes. I also got some messages from people that said they loved the meal prep. It was so awesome. My arms are just so tired from all the cutting. But she said because I probably didn't have a good knife. So check out the shop section in my highlights because I have lots of my favorite products on there. But yeah, having a good knife, it doesn't have to be such an expensive knife. You could spend like, I would spend like $100 on like a decent knife. That way you know it's gonna last. You're not gonna have to spend another $100 to buy another knife like 6 months later. Like I've had all my knives for, well, like 7, 8 years. I feel like I've had them forever. I dishwash most of them and I sharpen them myself. And the way I sharpen them also, I have this, I think it's J.A. Henkel's. I could show you really quick the sharpener that I use because I get that question a lot. It's Wusthof. That's it. It's a little handle. You run it through this blade, run it through that blade. You're done. It's like so simple. And it makes a huge difference in your knives. All right? Does everyone have their wine? It's kind of essential for meal prep, so never leave home without it. Okay. Such a good influence on everyone. Is everyone good? Yeah, Mike, tell me, how's everyone doing?
Everybody's good.
We're all, no questions? Is this like too easy of a meal prep, guys? Amazing. Good.
Meet your workout is acknowledging your knife skills.
Oh,
so
thank you, thank you. It's actually, I love cutting. It's like really relaxing to me. Once you learn how to cut the proper way, it's super relaxing. I'm actually obsessed with it.
Everybody's busy chopping.
I know.
Says Rebecca Litwack.
Good, love it.
Right.
Love it, love it. I loved all the early birds who got their prep done earlier or started a little bit early so then they could finish a little bit later. But do it whenever works for you. I mean, some people have kids. If you guys are different time zones, do whenever works for you. I've been uploading all of these videos to YouTube. So if you just search Deanie Klein on YouTube, you'll find a whole bunch of old goodies on there, which are kind of embarrassing. Probably should delete them, but they're too funny to delete them. But a lot of those old videos on there, but then I have a whole playlist of just prep rally videos. So yeah, so head over there, check it out. A lot of good stuff on there, and you could do your meal prep following along those videos because the ones on here, I save them for 24 hours, but then they gone. So where would one put this? I don't know. Let's just stick them right here. Okay.
Dan Rocks just asked if you have a YouTube channel, I think you just said.
Yes, so Deanie Klein on YouTube, D-I-N-I, and then K-L-E-I-N on YouTube, and you shall find it.
Okay, so in here again, you have the onions, sweet potatoes.
Yep, onions, sweet potatoes, salt, garlic, curry, ginger, coriander. So we're gonna cook this for about 20 to 30 minutes, and then we're gonna add in a head of cauliflower and some coconut milk, and then we're gonna cook it another like 10 to 15 minutes or so. We don't wanna put the cauliflower in now because sweet potatoes will take a lot longer, and I don't want the cauliflower to completely fall apart. I like it when you have some texture from it. But this is just gonna cook for a little bit, like 20, 30 minutes, and then we'll add in the rest and cook another 10 minutes or so, and then it's done. Yeah.
Shani New is acknowledging that your meal prep was a huge help these past few weeks. Seriously, all your hard work is just pure chesed for all of us moms.
You guys are amazing. Stop, I'm gonna cry. That's like the sweetest thing. Thank you. That like makes me so happy to hear that. You guys are amazing. Yeah. I'm so emotional.
Emilio is asking how often do you sharpen your knives?
Whenever I'm having an annoying time cutting. There's no particular time. Whenever they just feel like they're getting a little bit dull, I just run them through that little thing. It just makes it so easy. So it's a great thing to have and just keep at home whenever you need it.
Renee Zaref is asking, you add the potato right away?
Yeah, so I added,
right away?
yeah.
That's what you're doing right
exactly. So no, so I added the sweet potato to this. Sorry, okay. Now I'm gonna, so this is going. Leave this alone now. The sweet potatoes were in there, the sauce is in there, everything is in there. Let that cook for 20 to 30 minutes. Then we're gonna add in the cauliflower and the coconut milk. But leave that alone for now. Let it simmer, do its thing. The sweet potatoes are gonna start softening.
So
meanwhile,
the potato in your hand is for something else.
Yes. Meanwhile, we are going to heat a pot halfway full of water. We could have been doing that already, but that's cool. Halfway full of water. I have 3 potatoes in here so far that I pre-peeled, and I'm doing the remaining 2. So this is for the mashed potatoes that we're using for tomorrow night's dinner to go with the chicken kebabs and for the shepherd's pie.
Deb Lasco Covered
Hi.
or uncovered?
The
Looks
stew,
like
I
it's
do uncovered. Yeah, you could do either one, but I do uncovered.
All right, couple more questions.
Yeah.
Shani Steele's asking, what's a substitute for coconut milk?
Got a bunch of questions like that. The coconut milk simply just makes it like rich and creamy and yummy. If you wanted to go dairy with this, you could totally use like a heavy cream or something, or like a whole milk. Or you could even just leave it and keep it like a tomatoey kind of soupy stew type of thing, and you could completely omit it. It doesn't have that much of a strong coconut flavor, I don't think.
Khani Oshinsky is asking, where do you save these videos for 24 hours?
Yeah, so for 24 hours, it'll be right here on my stories. So you'll see, like, if you go into my stories, on the bottom, it'll say, like, regular stories, or it'll say live or something. Yeah. So you could see the live. It'll show up there for the next 24 hours. And then after that, if I get around to it, which I usually do, I upload it onto YouTube, Deanie Klein on YouTube, and you can rewatch all those there. The only one that's not up there is the first week, but for some reason it wasn't letting me upload it. I don't know why, but the other ones are there. Yeah.
All right.
You guys are amazing. Can I just tell you guys how awesome you are? These questions are great. I love that you're all here. Like, this community is so stinking incredible. This is literally what I envisioned, and we're here. So props to you guys. You're all amazing.
Lauren Braun is asking if you lower the temperature when you put in the sweet potatoes. Going back to the...
Not really, but once you see it starting to boil, you could like lower it a little bit to a simmer, but you want to just make sure whenever you're cooking, you want some sort of action to be happening. You want to see some sort of bubbling. You don't want a crazy rolling boil, but like you want something to be going on there. You could cover this. You know what? Why not? Let's cover it. Let's do it. It'll make it go faster. Yeah, Mike?
Nina Wall is asking, what can I do if I added too much coconut milk to the mashed potatoes by mistake? I mean, the coconut milk was supposed to be in for the curry, not the mashed potatoes.
Both.
Right?
No, both. So we're repurposing because we're already using coconut, so we're going all coconut. You could...
Add more
is it too liquidy? Is that the issue? Let me know.
Nina Wall, ask a more specific question.
Yeah, I guess if it's too liquidy, maybe. I mean, you could always add some more mashed potatoes, but that'd be kind of annoying. Yeah, I would say maybe also if you let it sit overnight, because the potatoes are like so thick that like it may absorb a lot of that liquid and won't be as thick when you actually take it out to heat up, possibly.
Rachel Loboda, I think I'm pronouncing that correctly.
I love it. I recognize all your names. You guys, I love you all.
What should the consistency of the coconut milk look like?
Okay, so coconut milk is one of my favorite ingredients. Ooh, that's garlic on my hand. Cool. Hey, you. The top is this thick. You see that? It's crazy. The top is a super thick, creamy coconut. And then under it, it's like the coconut cream. So a lot of times I'll use this instead of like a heavy whipping cream or even like a heavy cream, because it's so rich and intense. So it's great for non-dairy cooking. Underneath all this yummy, rich goodness, it kind of just looks like water. It's just like, that's kind of the coconut water. So it's a lot more liquidy. So sometimes I'll ask for just like the top white creamy part. It's all so good though. I love coconut milk. So yummy.
Dina Wall is back. She added the entire can of the coconut milk instead of one
cup of canned coconut milk.
It's a bit too mushy.
You're right. Yeah, so I guess you could always do, maybe even like in the microwave, you could even just make like one more baked potato in the microwave if you're into microwaves, and then just mash that into that just to kind of
water it down,
thicken it up a little bit. To give more consistency to it. Let me know if that works.
Rachel Loboda says thank you, because the coconut milk is exactly as you described. She just wasn't sure.
Okay, good.
And Rebecca Litwack wants to shout out that this meal prep is so cheap. Yes. So thank you.
Amen.
That's a third of the reason.
Exactly.
Save money, save time, and save your sanity.
I think I spent like $80 maybe, especially once you actually have all the ingredients. Like I had to buy maple syrup because I ran out of it today. But like once you have, I also have to buy olive oil because I ran out. But once you have these staples, we use them week after week after week. So it's amazing. So you guys save a lot of money. So amazing. I'm so happy to hear that that's the case. Awesome.
Betty Blonde is asking if you need to mix the coconut cream and water.
So it depends for what. So when I say just like 1 cup of canned coconut, I say shaken up. So that means like mixed together. But for the... Yeah, and even for the sweet potato curry, I think I do 1 full can, I say here. 1 can of full fat coconut milk. So this is full fat, unless it says light or something, it means full fat. But yeah, coconut milk is an amazing thing to just always keep in your pantry. This weekend even I made an amazing dessert, which is actually by Mayan Bialik. She's vegan and she has this incredible dessert recipe that my mom introduced me to. It's like 1 can of coconut milk, melted chocolate chips, and like a 1.5 cups of peanut butter. Melt it all together, put it in like a baking thing. It's like in the fridge, and it's like this rich, fudgy, like chocolate dessert. Oh my God. Mike, is it good?
It's wonderful. Alana Gadish is asking if it's all uncovered. So you have the
So I ended up covering this just to make it a little faster, and then
potatoes uncovered.
Yeah, we could also cover it to make it a little faster. Okay, let's do it. You guys inspire me. Let's do it. It'll make it go faster. Let's do that until it boils. Okay, now, so these are gonna boil. Once they're finished boiling, we're gonna pour them into a colander. So I have a colander standing by in the sink. So we could pour that off once they're nice and soft. And then we're gonna put them back in the pot, mash it, and season them up. So let that do its thing. Meanwhile, let's make quinoa. And don't make fun of me because I love quinoa. Okay. Everyone's like, wait, quinoa again? Oh wait, I forgot I put water in here already. Sweet. Okay, beautiful. I already added my water. So yes, I love quinoa because it stores really well in the fridge. It just like it holds up all week long.
Better than rice.
Better than rice. Rice tends to get a little bit dry, and I don't know, I just don't love how rice holds up so well. This lasts me till like Friday, and it's great all week long for lunches, for dinners, hot, cold. But feel free to use rice if you want rice, if you want farro, if you want, you know, bulgur, whatever you like. Do your thing. You guys know my trick, right? Don't even have to say it. My quinoa trick, I'll say it in case anybody is new here, but my quinoa trick is using less water than all the packages say. So instead of using 2 cups of water to 2 cups of water to 1 cup of quinoa, I use 1 cup quinoa to 1 3/4 cups water. So that's a 1/4 cup less of the water, which makes such a huge difference because it just makes it so much fluffier and less like wet and moist. I hate that word.
Egert is asking if she can freeze cooked quinoa.
I've heard you can actually, and I've heard it freezes really nicely too. And so same with rice. I've heard you can freeze rice as well. So if you just, yeah, I'm sure if you look online, Google, you could find the best way to do it. I'm not sure if it's like in a Ziploc bag or if in saran wrap. I'm not sure the exact way to store it, but I've heard it stores beautifully. So definitely do that if you ever have too much of it. Okay, oh, and also this Tuesday I'm doing a takeover for Tastemade on their Snapchat Discover, all about meal prep, prep and rally, and then how to use quinoa in so many different ways. Basically, like why I have this obsession with quinoa. So I'll, keep you posted about that.
Shandy3701 is asking if you soak the quinoa in water before cooking it.
I don't. A lot of people rinse it to remove the saponin, whatever you pronounce it. I don't taste any kind of bitterness when I cook quinoa, so I just cook it straight up. But if you taste some sort of bitterness, definitely rinse it out and then, and then cook it. I just heated my oven to 425, so get that going because the only thing we're going to be cooking in there is just roasting our broccoli and our garlic. So we're going to do that after we do the meat. Okay? Is everyone good? We're kind of like all over the place here, but we're moving along.
What do we have cooking?
This is the curry. You see it's kind of a rolling boil. I'm going to lower it a little bit more because we don't want it to go too crazy. You don't want it to burn on us. Make sure you give it a little stir every so often. All right?
Yocheved Howard is asking if you're supposed to bring the water to a boil before adding the quinoa.
Nope. I put it all in together, and then once it's boiling, that's when I cover it.
And turn it to a simmer.
Turn it to a simmer. Look at you. Mike can make quinoa in his sleep.
Sure.
You should be making the quinoa here.
And then this is just potatoes.
And then this is potatoes that we're waiting to boil. And then once they're soft, we're going to strain them in the colander.
Okay.
Meanwhile, you're not going to be able to see me here, will you?
It's okay.
Can you see this? You fine?
All right.
I have a nice big pan standing by here. We are going to make, okay, so this coconut milk is going to be for our potato soon. Hydrate. Can I both reach for our drinks at the same time? Except I'm drinking mine. Okay, so for our shepherd's pie. So shepherd's pie I feel like I grew up with and I just love it. It's just cozy, it reminds me of home. Mom reminds me of you. I know you're watching, I love you. So yeah, I just love it. It's like a very yummy comfort food. So I'm just heating my, my large pan. Pretty high heat. Get my oil, get like a tablespoon or so into a nice large pan. You good, Mike?
Yep.
Cool beans. All right, so one more onion, all right? Here we go. I want you guys all to be pros at cutting onion at this point. I cut off the top and bottom. When I can pull it off like that, that works out well because then you just take this and you just give it a little peel. Boop. Pretty cool, right? Except this one has like a little, like a one more layer, like ogres, right? Isn't that from Shrek? Ogres are like onions or something like that. No? Okay, I don't watch movies. I could be lying. Okay, so here we go. Cut it in half, and we're just gonna give it a little chop. So here we're making the ground beef mixture that's gonna go in our shepherd's pie. So we're making this whole meat mixture, and then we're gonna store it in the fridge, and then when it's actually time to eat this dinner, we're going to assemble it fresh. So it's gonna be the layer of meat, and then with the peas that we're adding in tonight. So that's gonna be the bottom of your pan or any like baking dish that you're gonna be using for the shepherd's pie. And then we're topping it with the other half portion of the potatoes. We're mixing that with some butternut squash just to like, I don't know, just kind of like make it different. You guys could totally use all potato. You don't have to add the butternut squash. I just like the idea of doing something a little bit different, kind of introducing another vegetable. I know, Melinda, you're making your curry with kibosh squash because it's just less sugar than sweet potatoes. So totally use any kind of hearty root veg you like here. All the fall flavors work. I mean, like pumpkins, squashes, whatever. It's all good. We're waiting for our quinoa to come to a boil. Then we're going to lower to a simmer.
So there's quinoa, potatoes, curry.
Yep. Have you guys ever worked with like so many flames at one time?
And the oven.
Exactly.
Is set to 425.
Exactly. Oven set to 425. Because then we're going to be roasting these veggies afterwards. So you want to have that waiting for you. So you're not waiting for it. All right. Get those onions sauteing. Again, I'm going to add a little bit of salt. And here we go. It's starting to get nice and brown. Caramelize. Our potatoes now are boiling. So I'm just going to take the top off now. And just let it do its thing. Okay. This is looking good. Woo! Yum. All right. In a minute, we're going to actually add actually in like 5 minutes or so, we're going to add the cauliflower and this to that. Okay, beautiful. So we have our onion, All right, then we're going to add in our meat. So we have 2 pounds of ground beef. Let's just mix this around one more time, get it softened a tiny bit more. Nice golden caramelization. How's everyone doing? We all on track, all good?
Are we going too fast?
Also, if you didn't pre-peel your potatoes, maybe slightly behind, let me know if you guys are any behind. If you need me to slow down a little time-wise, we are cruising. We're good. Half an hour left, and then we could always go into the next half an hour if needed, but we'll try not to. We'll see. All right, 2 pounds of ground beef. All right, so hold on. All right, so here you're just going to kind of break this up, and you want to brown this meat, all right? If you wanted to assemble your shepherd's pie tonight, by all means, go right ahead, do that. I just always try to give options. If you want to store it, just the beef on its own, and then you can assemble it the night of. Doesn't really make so much of a difference, but I would bake it, like give it that final bake right before you're about to eat it, because you have to heat it anyways that night, so why heat it a second time if you could just bake it fresh then? All right, so you want to work pretty high heat here. Get that all broken up, and then we're going to add our spices. You could also use like ground chicken here, ground turkey. You could totally sub it. A bunch of you guys on the Facebook group are talking about maybe using lentils or those like meatless crumbles or something. You could totally use whatever you like here. If you're vegan or vegetarian, there's almost always a solution to make it work. Okay, quinoa is now boiling. As you can see, I am covering, low simmer, cover it up. How cool are these pots? I'm obsessed with these. They're so freaking cool. Oh, I just realized this is the kind that I always say not to use because it has a little spout here. If you ever have a pot that has a spout and you're trying to make rice or quinoa, you see this little spout there? So a lot of steam is going to escape from there, and you don't really want that to happen. Oh, stop. Is it not coming out anymore? I think you're right. Wow, so smart. Okay, you don't want steam to escape. So if you don't have a way of closing that off, make sure you either like stuff it with some tin foil. I've done that before because the quinoa won't work out as well if all that steam is escaping. Hopefully you're right with that, Mike. We'll see. We'll find out. If not, it's on Mike.
course I'm right.
Okay, so break this up a little bit. Oop. And, okay, now let's just season it up real quick and then we'll keep frying it. So, to this, we are adding, bum, bum, bum. All right, we need some salt, pepper, and then we're using fresh rosemary. So we have salt here. And if you guys were watching my stories today, I just discovered that I have a massive rosemary bush right in front of my house. So I didn't realize, I've never seen rosemary just grow wild. I've always just seen it like in a small planter when I've tried to grow it, and it's like one little stalk and it always dies in like a minute. There's like a massive bush right outside my house. So if you are in California, feel free to stop by and grab some on your way. But I will never be buying rosemary ever again. So thank you to my guests that came over yesterday. Lena, what's up? And Amy. I don't remember which one of you said it, but I did not realize that that was rosemary. So I'm pretty excited.
So again, in this you just have onions and ground beef.
Onions, ground beef, salt, pepper, and now we're gonna add our rosemary, which I saved on this week. So stinking cool. And it was actually awesome because I needed it last week. But my delivery person said that they don't even have any, so they brought me dried rosemary and just didn't cut it. So I'm pretty stoked. I'm so happy. It's the best discovery ever. I also have lavender, but like, I don't like necessarily cooking with lavender. Okay, so, it's steamy here from all these, what's it called? All the pots. Okay, rosemary. So we're using, I say half a teaspoon of fresh rosemary. I'm just gonna go like this. Oh my God. Oh, fresh, fresh, fresh. So fresh, all right? Boop, boop, boop. Rosemary's so good. Some of you are saying you don't necessarily care for rosemary. Sub in any herb you like, any like hearty herb. So like thyme or marjoram or what else can you use here? What's like a nice, oregano. If you want to use oregano, fresh oregano. Or you could omit it, or you could even just use some dried stuff. But this is my favorite. And then we're also using rosemary in the other two sauce and marinade dressings. So here we go. Rosemary going on in. My goodness, yum, yum, yum. Get every last bit. Okay, we all good?
I think we're good.
Everyone's rocking. All right. So.
Oven is set to 425.
425, because after this we're just gonna roast our broccoli. And then we have a marinade and a salad dressing left. We're gonna mash this. All right, and then we have to add our cauliflower into here, which won't take long to cook. All right, so you're just continuing to move this around, kind of like when you're making like chopped meat for tacos. We're basically doing a similar thing right now. You're getting that nice and brown. So just kind of keep breaking it up so you don't have any like big clumps. And you work at like pretty high heat here. All right, quinoa is looking yum. All right. I love getting all your messages, you guys, about how simple this makes your week, because I honestly, they always say, like, whenever you invent something or start something, if you're passionate about it, it's going to sell. And honestly, I couldn't be more passionate about anything because it works for me. This is the only way I'm sane, because it brings structure to my entire week. We're all able to eat. I make lunches for my kids. I make lunches for Mike. We eat dinner every single night. And I'm stress-free all week long because I know it's just there waiting for me. So I can work up until 4:30, and then I go get the kids. And dinner's basically serves itself. So.
Kitchen Tested is asking a question about the marinade. Doesn't lemon juice cook the chicken when it's raw?
I mean, if it's just lemon that you're putting it with, then yes. But like I find when it's mixed with a bunch of other things, it's so diluted that like you're good. But if you want to cook it now, you can. But I just find when such small amounts, you're fine. But like if you're making like a ceviche, that's like a lot of lemon, a lot of lime. Like it's a high concentration of acid, but with small amounts, you're fine.
CC Blake is asking if he or she can use frozen broccoli.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Adjust your cooking time accordingly. This will take a little bit longer than the frozen stuff, but yeah, just adjust your cooking time. You should be totally fine with that. It's just a side dish, the broccoli. Or if you wanted to put it in your calzone, if you have a kid that likes just like a broccoli cheesy pizza, you could totally just put the broccoli in this calzone instead of the curry if you want. Just another way to kind of switch it up.
Mom loves all things fashionable is asking. The knife
I
you're
love that
currently
name.
using.
Yep.
Do you prefer it to the global knives or the same?
Honestly, like I'm not even so particular. You would think I'd be super picky, but as long as it's a long chef's knife, this is Brigade. They're also very affordable. You check them out. They have a few like cookware products as well. They sent this to me last year. I like this a lot. I like that it's heavy, super durable. So as long as it's like a nice long chef's knife that's durable, that you can sharpen, they're good. I'm not so particular.
Miriam Levitz forgot to buy maple syrup. Can she use honey?
Yeah, definitely.
Or wait until tomorrow?
No. Use a little bit of honey. You can use a little bit of sugar if you want. You could omit it completely if you want. Agave if you have. If you have agave, I prefer agave over honey. But yeah, you're good with any of those. It just gives a little touch of sweetness. Okay, so we're basically all browned here. So, we did a little bit of salt, we did pepper. So now what we're gonna do, this is like such like a wintry thing to do, is just like add a little bit of flour. Who knows what the flour is gonna do? Anyone know?
Anybody know?
Anyone know?
First person to get it right gets a shout out.
Whoop! Who's it gonna be? Who is it?
No one yet.
Come on, guys. Why are we adding flour to this?
Oh, Cool Kosher Cuisine says, thicken the sauce.
Yes, Cool Kosher Cuisine.
Kitchen tested, a very close second.
Ah, all my foodies. All my little foodies. Amazing, exactly.
Samara Sonnenblick, Rebecca Litwack, Mom Loves All Things Fashionable, Plates and Dates.
Yes. Love you guys.
Brody Hadash,
You're
Cece
awesome.
Blake, Amy QT. All right.
You guys are awesome. Exactly.
Shane,
so that's
Renee,
good.
No more shout outs.
You guys are amazing. I love you all. Awesome job. So yeah, look, it's just thickening the sauce. It was like very liquidy before, but it's starting to thicken now. And we're also gonna add some vegetable broth in here, which will further season it even more. And then way at the end, we're just gonna throw in some frozen green peas that I've just thawed, just to give some brightness and some good fresh color and to get some vegetables in. But if you think your kids are gonna be like, ew, green, leave it out. You could totally leave it out, no big deal. It's just like a little fun addition that I really like and my kids like peas, so.
Rebecca Litwack just asked if you can sub arrowroot flour instead of all-purpose.
Yeah, you should totally be able to, 100%. That'll definitely thicken it. I've been using that in my pancakes almost every morning lately and kind of obsessed with it. It's been our like flour combination that we've been using, because we make pancakes every morning, literally every morning, otherwise I get in big trouble from Jolie. But it's our like flour mixture has been arrowroot, what's it called? Coconut flour and Crazy Richard's peanut butter powder. So that combination of the three of those plus like baking powder, egg, a little bit of maple syrup to sweeten it. They're the best pancakes ever. Mike, haven't they been good lately?
Fantastic.
Every day they're different, but like lately I've been doing like a somewhat similar thing and it's pretty bomb. All right, so thickening up.
What do we have going on here?
Okay,
check anything?
we have our quinoa. So the way I test the quinoa is I kind of tip it over. If you don't see any water that floats, like that sort of tips over, that means all the water is absorbed. That means you're good. That means you can turn it off and be done. So just kind of remove it from the heat and you're good there. Here we go. The meat, give it one more mix. If you wanted to reduce the amount of fat in your meat, by all means, you could completely pour off some of the fat that cooks out of the meat. So you could completely do that. At this point, I'm gonna shut this off. I'm gonna add in my green peas. Just like a nice little way to add some color. Most kids like peas, I find. I won't say most, a lot of kids. But yeah, totally leave it out if you don't like it. Give it a little mix around, and that's your filling. So good.
Mom Loves All Things Fashionable is asking about the difference between regular quinoa and red quinoa.
They have different flavor, and I find that red quinoa is more like crispy, like snappy. Does that make any sense? It has like more of a bite to it. White quinoa gets a little bit softer. Yeah, I don't prefer the flavor of the red. If it's like a combination of all three, I'm totally fine with, but like I don't love the straight up red. Plus my kids are obsessed with white quinoa, so I don't want to ruin it. But use whatever you like. Okay, this is good to go. So what I want to do is put these into storage containers so they can start cooling. Same thing with the quinoa.
So right now you only have the curry and the boiling potatoes on fire.
Exactly. My oven's preheated.
To 425.
425, because we're going to start chopping our broccoli in a minute. Here we go. So meat goes on here. Look at that, yum. So this is going to be our filling for the shepherd's pie. So good. It's so steamy in here. Holy moly. It smells really good. Okay. So yeah, whenever you can, try to get things into storage containers as soon as possible out of the hot pan so that things can start cooling, and that way you are not going to be up all night waiting for things to cool. So this is good to go. This is too steamy in your face, Mike?
Nope.
Are you good? Okay. We're going to check our potatoes in a minute to make sure they're soft, but first let's get our quinoa in here. Okay, here we go. So look at that. Perfectly fluffy. Mike, you were right. Look at that. Quinoa Trick. You heard. I just don't understand why every container is like just wrong. This is literally like my best trick. You guys love this trick of mine. Or maybe it's like my only trick. Is it my only trick?
Kala Delish is saying that she sees that the prep is live for all to see. So what does the $11.99 cost a month?
Yes. So basically, as a subscriber, you get access to this printable PDF right here, which I'll show you in a minute.
You get access to the recipes.
So you get access to the grocery list, to the recipes, to the private Facebook group community. And yeah, because here we cook everything live, so you could take all the inspiration you like, but if you actually subscribe, you get this every single week and a weekly email and access to the website, which has these weekly brand new menus and meal preps, all of the grocery lists, the Sunday prep, which we're doing now, and every single recipe, which is like 8 or so new recipes every single week. And then I tell you how to assemble those 8 or so recipes into 4 insanely incredible, unique, versatile menus all week long. So
even if you only do it one time a month, you're easily saving $11.99.
Yeah, the whole thing here is like
just once a month.
Yeah, if you were listening earlier, someone else was saying that they saved a ton of money, that they only spent like, I spent I think like $60 or $70 this week on groceries. You save a ton of money in groceries because we're repurposing things in multiple ways.
That's a dinner for 4 people, 4 nights a week for $60.
Yeah, it's insane. Plus, there's always a ton of leftovers for lunches. So it's pretty stinking awesome. We saved a ton of money from doing this.
You just shut off the curry?
Yep. Oh no, I didn't shut it off. No, I just gave it a little mix around. So the sweet potatoes are starting to soften, but they're still going to be in there for another 15 minutes or so. We're going to get our cauliflower in there. So I'm just cutting our cauliflower into sort of bite-sized florets.
And now's the time if someone wanted to put in chickpeas or another soft vegetable to do it?
Exactly, because these will cook a little bit faster, especially if you cut it small like this. So just cut off these little crowns. Save this bottom part. Just like chuck it in your freezer for now so you don't have to think about it. A lot of times I get really lazy, so I just throw it out. But cauliflower rice that you're buying at the store is right here. Stick it in your food processor and you have cauliflower rice in minutes. But chuck it in your freezer for now because you have too much going on and you don't want to think about it. So
Mickey Stark is asking, can I use riced cauliflower?
You definitely can. So they get pretty mushy, so like I would wait a little bit longer to add that in. Maybe wait till
you take it off the fire?
Yeah, and let the curry cool while your cauliflower rice is in there, if that makes sense. Just because you don't want it to be too mushy. Unless you do want it mushy, it's totally up to you. I tend to like more of like texture, but it'll cook pretty quickly. So yeah, add it in like way at the end. That's what I would do. All right, so I'm just kind of adding in like little pieces here.
E.L. Brown is asking, is health and calories a priority for you? I'm interested in doing this, but I'm trying to do Weight Watchers.
I get a bunch of questions about that. So it's by no means a health program. I am by no means a nutritionist. I know a lot about health and nutrition just because the clients that I've cooked for the past 8 years, I kind of had to know about health and nutrition because all my menus were completely customized and I catered to a lot of people that had specific dietary restrictions. So I do know a lot about health and nutrition and I like to eat healthy myself. There are always modifications that could be made here, such as like Melinda was saying, she just added kibosh squash in here to reduce the amount of sugar because sweet potatoes tend to be a little bit higher in sugar. So there are always things that you could do to modify, and we have a private Facebook group, which is a great place to post and ask what else you can sub in for parsley if I don't want to use parsley, or what if I don't want to use potatoes, can I use cauliflower rice? And there's an amazing community on there that's growing every single day. It is so stinking cool. If you have not joined yet, like half of the people that have subscribed are not even on that list. So definitely join that private Facebook group if you are on Facebook, because it's an incredible community on there that's super helpful. So yeah, so there are always modifications to make it work for kids, for any diets or allergies or whatever.
And E.L. Brown, try it for a month.
Exactly.
You can cancel, try
anytime.
it for a month.
Yeah.
$11.99.
You're at least getting, what is that, 8 recipes every week times 4. You do the math. So.
32. 32 brand new recipes a month.
I married you. Love ya.
My math skills, that's really why?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
That's so sad.
Good for something. Okay. Oh, it's hot. All right, beautiful. So, cauliflower's in here. Add your chickpeas if you want to add chickpeas. And we have our coconut milk. So I'm just giving it a little bit mixed around because I want a little bit of both. I want some of the thick part and I want some of the waterier part. So you're just adding in about a cup of that or so. All right. And lovely. And look at that. This just makes it rich and thick and creamy. Oh, you did shut it off. You're right. Oh, no. Sorry, I didn't shut it off.
It was on a simmer.
Yeah, you're right. All right. So you could season it with a little bit of additional salt. And at the end, you could taste it again. See if you want to add some more curry, if you want a little bit spicier, if you want to, whatever. You could totally increase, decrease, whatever you want. I guess you can't really decrease, but you can always add more coconut milk or tomato sauce if you want to adjust at all. So let this keep cooking for a little bit longer. I'm raising this up a tiny bit. Give it a cover again. All right, now.
So now you just said you're turning on the heat higher?
Yeah, I think we're gonna have to go into the second hour, but it's cool. We're gonna have really good food all week long, I promise. Right? Okay, hold on. Take your knife or whatever it is and just pierce one of your potatoes. Okay, it's still pretty firm. Let it keep cooking, but give it a little test to see if it has softened at all, because you don't want to overcook them too much.
And obviously everybody's
potato is a different size. Look at you. Mike is learning. This actually, okay, this was my plan. It wasn't to get you all meal prepping with me. It was to get Mike to finally start cooking for me. So Mike, you have no excuse now. You know all my tricks.
Rachel Laboda is asking if you use the whole can or just 1 cup of the coconut milk?
1 cup of it for this. But you guys could look at the, what's it called, the printable PDF is where all the exact recipes are. Yeah, everything is on there. Okay?
Esther Grunblatt is actually asking a good question. Not that you don't always ask good questions. That's not what I meant.
How rude.
Why don't you cut the potatoes to make it cook quicker?
It's a good question. We totally could have. 100%. That's a very good question.
Good question, Esther.
I don't know.
And Amy.
You were hired. I should hire you.
Amy QT to have the same thought.
Yeah, totally. We totally could have. I don't know why I didn't think of it. We definitely could have. But yeah, that would have made the cook time a lot shorter, and it would have cooled shorter time. So yeah, that's a great little tip right there. So yeah, I'm just cutting this broccoli now. If you like to use the stems, I usually like the stems, but I'm gonna do it like this so it cooks quickly. But again, hey, cauliflower rice right there, right? So don't throw that out. Try to make your broccoli all similar size. If you're using frozen, go ahead and use your frozen, whatever you prefer. It's actually beautiful broccoli from Whole Foods today. Love that. Okay, put my broccoli back here. So yeah, I even just go right on my baking sheet sometimes and go right like this. And just like cut off all those little crowns. It's like one of the fastest way to do it, and they're pre-washed. So here we go. 2. So we're just going to be roasting this, a little bit of olive oil and salt. If you want to do some pepper, go right ahead. Whatever you like on your broccoli.
And it should be set for 425, correct?
425, exactly. And we're also going to be roasting this mumbo jumbo head of garlic so to get nice and soft in the oven. And then we're going to squeeze it all over our mashed potatoes. You guys know I love to like make nice soft garlic and smash it. So we're going to be doing that today. What you could do also is roast it today and then just stick in your fridge and then put it in your mashed potatoes when you're actually serving it tomorrow if you don't want to do it tonight. Totally up to you. Okay, so we have our broccoli here and they're pretty small pieces that should cook up pretty quickly. We love broccoli in our house.
What kind of baking pan do you use? Lev?
These are the USA ones. But look on the shop section in my profile and my highlights. I have all like my favorite products are on there. This has literally been my favorite baking sheet ever. It took me a while to like finally buy it because I think it's like $27 because it's an extra large baking sheet. I kind of thought that was crazy at first. I was like, I'm not spending that money, but it has been my favorite purchase, I think, ever. because I roast so many vegetables. Like this is like 6 heads of broccoli right here, all in one sheet pan. So use 2 sheet pans if you need. Here we go. Beautiful. Okay. Broccoli's done. And the reason we're doing so much is because we're using it for 2 dinners. So if you're already doing something once, why not make double batch and have enough for 2 dinners? And so we save tons of time. We save money because we're already buying this, so may as well buy more. Okay, salt. Here we go. Do-do-do-do. I have to remember to buy salt next week. I'm like running low. And some olive oil. Oh, and our garlic. Let's not forget the garlic. Okay, nice amount of olive oil. Garlic, you guys know, if you saw my post from today, I love garlic, and whenever I'm roasting any vegetables, if I have a head of garlic, I do this to it, and I do a little this, and I do a little this, and a this, and a this. Boom. Because why the heck not? This is like really good free flavor right here. Major flavor boost, right? I mean, if you're already roasting stuff anyways, you have this sitting right there that took not even a full second. And you could squeeze that onto anything, into any salad dressing, onto any pasta, into chicken soup I did a couple weeks ago. You could literally put it on everything. And it is so stinking good. And it's inexpensive, and it's low calorie, and it's good for Weight Watchers, right? Just don't do as much olive oil, but you're good. All right, so we're gonna throw this in the oven. How beautiful does that look? So this minced garlic that we have standing by, that's gonna be for the marinade and for the salad dressing coming up soon. All right, so this is going in the oven. Boop. Beautiful. I'm gonna put this kitchen timer on for about 30 minutes or so. We'll check it soon. All right, and lovely. Okay, meanwhile, here we go. How are we doing on time, Mike?
About 2 or 3 minutes before we have to start and stop and start.
Okay, so that's gonna be in the oven for about 25 to 30 minutes or so. We have to make 1 salad dressing, 1 marinade for the chicken, and then pop it into the fridge. This is gonna finish cooking in a few minutes. Let's give it a little stir, see how we're doing. Oh my God, it smells so good. Doesn't it smell good, Mike?
Awesome.
Oh my God, yum. Yum, yum, yum. All right, our potatoes are boiling. So, 2 minutes you said, right? 2 minutes?
Do you want to just stop now?
Yeah, we could stop and we're gonna start a new video. And then we're gonna make 1 salad dressing, 1 marinade, finish the mashed potatoes, and then we're done. I promise, it's not that much. It sounds like a lot more.
We're going to stop now, come right back.
Come on back.
Finish up in about, what, 5, 10 minutes?
Yeah, not long. Like 10 minutes or so.
All right.
All right, come right back, guys.